Hi everyone, my name is Emmett Duffy from the Smithsonian Institution, and I lead the SCOR supported project Seagrass, Coordinating Global Research Assessment of Seagrass Systems. Thanks for the opportunity to present this progress update, and sorry that I cannot be with you in person. The vision of the Seagrass project is to facilitate a rigorous dynamic picture of global seagrass status and trends. We do that by developing tools to enable global interoperability of measurements and coordination of those observations, and to build a global community of practice that uses them to synthesize data towards that global map. We have engaged a broad range of partners from throughout the world in this process, and we thank everyone involved. The Seagrass project has four main components that we have been working on. First, collating best practices for seagrass measurement, and secondly, a data schema for making interoperable measurements open access and available on global repositories like OBIS. Third, building a community of practice, and fourth, using those data for data synthesis. Over the last year, we've really focused primarily on items 1 and 2 here, developing the specifications and schema for the seagrass essential ocean variable of the Global Ocean Observing System. The timeline for developing that seagrass EOV began when Goose proposed biological EOVs in 2009, then established the Biology and Ecosystems Panel in 2015, which immediately began selecting and developing the EOVs. Our progress on the seagrass EOV was boosted by support from SCOR for this project in 2019, which of course began right around the same time as the COVID pandemic. So we had several virtual meetings through the pandemic, and then had an in-person workshop in 2022 in association with the International Seagrass Biology Workshop in Annapolis, Maryland, where we consolidated the main components of a peer-reviewed manuscript presenting the seagrass EOV. Seagrass observing has two main components. First, remote sensing to measure extent of habitat on regional to global scales, and secondly, in situ sampling, which serves many local purposes and can also validate the remote sensing imagery and increase the accuracy of that process. We began with a group that developed a white paper on how to make seagrass measurements interoperable for the OceanObs 2019 meeting, and have focused over the last couple of years in bringing that work toward a peer-reviewed manuscript on the seagrass EOV presenting the specifications. The seagrass essential ocean variable, seagrass cover and composition, is really a composite or suite of variables. To operationalize that, we need the subvariables, a set of characteristics measured in the field. To do that, we have used a nested data quality model with hierarchical levels of detail in the measurement that can be adapted based on needs and capacity locally. The first and most basic is cover, which can be measured either as aerial extent from satellite imagery shown on the left, or as cover at local scales through quadrat analyses, in situ surveys, and so on. So the most basic measurement is cover or extent. Second is adding chute density and canopy height to those measurements, which allow estimation of biomass, leaf area index, which are master variables of sort that can link the measurements to ecosystem services we care about, like primary and secondary production, carbon burial, wave attenuation, and so on. And of course, species composition can also be quite important here because it influences biomass and physical structure. Global integration of those measurements requires not only interoperable protocols, but also synthesis of the measurements across time and space. In our EOV specifications, therefore, we've also developed a data schema following Darwin core format, which organizes the measurements into tables for upload to OBIS. These are the typical event, occurrence, and extended measurement of fact tables, the latter of which can incorporate the subvariables I just mentioned. So we are now moving into the final year of the seagrass project. We've incorporated the major seagrass networks, including the leads of those efforts, made significant progress on the specifications for the essential ocean variable, have developed global coordination and consultation around this EOV with a global group, and are now proposing the global standards for seagrass cover and composition as part of the EOV. We expect that manuscript to be submitted for publication by early 2024, and we will plan our finale of seagrass at the International Seagrass Biology Workshop in Napoli in Italy in June 2024, where we have had 3 seagrass sessions accepted and expect to have a workshop to wrap up the remaining components and envision the path forward. So thank you all for your attention. I would be happy to answer questions by email. And again, sorry I can't be with you. Thanks.